And we are back with, sorry, excuse me. I knew that cough was coming, so I was kind of waiting until it stopped, or it was going to start. But of course, it starts as soon as I open up my big fat mouth. Thank you for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. We just talked about some AEW Dynamite NXT review. I gave you guys my thoughts about The Rock's potential storylines on SmackDown. We also talked about, we previewed SmackDown in itself. So make sure you guys check out those videos on YouTube, 1010%. So yeah, without further ado, let's talk about NXT newest faction on NXT Vengeance Day. After the Oba Femi retain and the Fraxium retain, you saw a group of masked men come out and attack all three superstars. We've seen a number of factions in WWE. We've seen D-Generation X, the Heart Foundation, the Bloodline, the Shield. NXT has been teasing this mystery faction for quite some time. And like I said, on Saturday, they showed up for masked men. And, obviously trying to cement them reestablishing their name. They want to challenge for the NXT World Tag Team Championships. They want to challenge Oba Femi. They want to rule all of NXT. So that storyline is basically all they have right now. That's basically all they have right now. NXT, they want to establish, something new, a little bit of it, like an edgier kind of thing. Obviously, you don't want to wind up like Retribution, which I feel like they'll avoid it. But on the last episode of NXT, you kind of saw it going off air, where you saw a beaten, broken locker room. You saw Stone taken out, spray paint on the wall, saying nobody is safe. The four masked men have been unveiled. We got Cutler James, Dion Lennex, Osiris Griffin, and Saquan Shugars. WWE social media has remained optimistic, but most have compared the group to Nexus, Retribution, and the Shield. We've seen a bunch of Twitter reactions. People saying, "Hey, are we honestly really doing this again?" These talents have been barely seen on WWE NXT television. So why should we care? Why should we care about these four men who, last time you saw Dion Lennex was, he used to tag team with the Shanti the Adonis, and then he was that smart, cute, sensitive guy, that sensitive friend, to Karen Petrovich. And now he's coming in to lead a group that's going to, quote unquote, kick everyone's ass. It's a little far-fetched. Clear sign of NXT trying to build up a new talent in the men's division. And you can't really hate what they're trying to do here. You got four young rising stars. Why not try to create something that could be possibly special? Knocking it in the dirt right off the bat seems a little grim. I just feel like, based on what happened with Retribution, with Nexus and stuff like that, it doesn't really seem like the numbers game. You've seen the Bloodline do success with it, but it's the Bloodline. You've had Jimmy and Jey Uso, an established tag team. You had Solo Sikoa, young rising star, obviously didn't really come in fruition that way, and you had Roman Reigns. These four men, they're rookies trying to make it up to the top. And, you think about them challenging Oba Femi for that NXT championship, you don't really get that. It's given that there's still a lot of time. I feel like maybe they'll get a championship match at Roadblock. But having somebody, the greatest thing that I love about NXT is the competition. I love the fact that, there's a lot of different storylines. There's a lot of different competition, a lot of different personas. And now you have these four masked men that just want to come around and cause ruckus to absolutely anyone. So for me, I don't really buy it. It's not really a product that I would really necessarily kind of want to see these four men in. But like I said, it's something. Maybe it got down to them, their contracts being, renegotiated, and they're like, all right, but we need to think about something, fast. We need to see if something picks up off the ground, and, you guys are going to come in basically like a Retribution 2.0, which they kind of have been seeing, and, even during, even when they came in, it just didn't really see like, I don't know. You had the NXT fans chanting, "Who are you?" That was pretty bad. The women's division obviously outshined the men's. It looks a little silly and a little bit of dull. And even during during the beatdown, you saw one of the guys pull their mask up over their face, seeming like they don't really know what to do or how to, I don't know. For me, I thought that was it. I saw that too, and I was like, man, that looks a little silly. Looks, and we don't want to see that Retribution role. Obviously, Mustafa Ali's group, Mace, he then moved to the MXN collection. Slapjack. The guy moved to New Japan Professional Wrestling. T-Bar was Dijak. Reckoning was Mi Chin. Retaliation was Mercedes Martinez, who eventually made it to Ring of Honor. Retribution, honestly, it just wasn't really a good call. Doing things like this, it's just silly. It's just very silly. It's constantly, ever since their debut, they've been getting negative reactions from critics, fans, and industry figures. Adam Silverstein of CBS Sports kind of named it in a nutshell here. He said this, and I quote, "Once when Retribution was there, they kind of seemed like a bunch of pissed off teenagers causing trouble after school." And that's kind of right. That's kind of exactly the way you saw these group of guys come in like that. Like, Mustafa Ali, Dion Lennex, guys that want to be somebody, that want to be, that want to be better than the rest, that want to establish themselves as main eventers, they want to make it in wrestling, and you can't really fault them for that. But so far, it's been put in a huge negative light. For them to kind of be successful, I feel like they have to avoid, what Retribution did wrong. Constantly, like Silverstein said, act like a bunch of teenagers and beat people up after school. And they were very consistent with their promos. And overall, every single time they fought in a match, they lost. They weren't really that great. It was terrible before it ultimately, kind of set off. And, Retribution obviously came in with a lot of momentum. I kind of did have high hopes about it. I love Mustafa Ali, these big, bad, and, intimidating guys. They want to constantly recreate what the Shield did with Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. But three very special superstars who are, to this day, absolutely heavyweight main event guys. Roman Reigns was the one of the longest reigning undisputed championship reigns. Seth Rollins has done everything under the sun in terms of accomplishments. Dean Ambrose did some things at WWE, mostly established himself in AEW where he's kicking ass as Jon Moxley. Like I said, for these guys, for them to have a purpose in NXT, for them not constantly checking their phones, receiving text messages or voicemails saying that their contracts aren't going to be renewed, saying that they're going to be released from WWE. So in that case, I definitely get it. But WWE has to, absolutely 1,010%, they have to be careful with some of the bookings that they're going to have, with some potential storylines, the picking and the choosing of opponents that they decide to go after, and going after big fish like Oba Femi, the NXT World Heavyweight Champion, going after NXT Tag Team Champions Fraxium. For me, I feel like that wasn't really a good end. I get it that it popped out, and the moment they attack the champions, they get immediate attention. But I don't know. I feel like you kind of have to ease on into it. The promos were, them just in, it was in black. You didn't really know who it was, so you were kind of like guessing who could it be. And the moment I kind of saw Ricky Starks debut in NXT, I was kind of like, you know what? I kind of ultimately thought it was going to be, maybe Ricky Starks coming in with this new badass group where he is the, kind of like the bloodline leader, and, they start kicking ass on NXT. I feel like maybe that storyline could have worked. I definitely 1,010%. I don't just want to see these guys on NXT. I want to see these guys on TNA. TNA and NXT really, honestly, have to work together to make this group amazing. If that's exactly what they're trying to do. They have to go after the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Joe Hendry. I would love to see, because obviously Joe Hendry, big babyface figure in the world of total nonstop action. seeing them come on Impact to, you know, kind of take down that champion there, it'd be big. It'd be very, very big. Also, maybe, you know, they see them size up against the system taking on Moose. But then again, you don't. Well, not the Moose. The system has been around for quite some time. You know, they have prestigious accomplishments and accolades, you know, for themselves. But for this, I feel like for this faction to be good, you know, you can't rush it. Can't rush it. Don't put them up against big fish that they can't fry. Definitely, you know, ease on into it. Having them, you know, at the end of NXT, right, spray paint on the wall when no one is safe. You know, kind of could come on a little strong there. You know, kind of like a guy trying to hit on a girl at a bar, or vice versa. You know, where they kind of just like comment, oh, you're so pretty. I'm just kidding, no. Just kidding. But, I don't know, just coming out too strong, I guess you can say. Coming out too strong, they need to stay consistent. They need to win match after match after match. If they win by cheating, I'm not too sure. But something that The Shield did when they debuted on WWE is that, you know, there was times where maybe you would get them one-on-one, but they'd mostly kind of fight as a trio. They'd be a 3-man, you know, get 3 guys to take us on, and then we'll take you guys on. And that's how they slowly but surely kind of became big names in WWE. 4 guys. Are you going to get like 4-on-4 matches from now on NXT? Doubt that's going to happen. You're going to get that classic bloodline, you know, blueprint. You have the main event guy. You have the leader, the guy who runs it all, obviously Dion Lennex. You have 2 guys in the tag team, you know, that are going to be in the tag team division. And you're probably going to get a guy to go after the NXT North American Championship. You know, after the North American Championship, I feel like that would have been a better first step. You know, so then you would have like a 4-on-4 kind of thing with the family, the D'Angelo family. Well, not 4-on-4, but they'd have to get another guy. But, you know, that would at least be like a 3-on-3. But going after like Oba Femi, who's literally like by himself, you know, so obviously you're not going to take the title off him unless you guys, you guys cheat to win, which for me, I feel like that'd be bad, because that would, you know, kind of destroy the legacy of like fair competition. You know, by all means, you know, you're a heel faction, so then who gives an F? But to win over the WWE Universe and have them not chanting, who are you? You kind of have to show that you belong in the ring. You know, you can't, if there were like better known superstars, maybe I'd get it. Obviously, like I said, 4 young, absolute rising stars in NXT and in the world of wrestling. But I just don't want this to be over before it began. And so far, I got to be honest, I'm getting red flags. I'm seeing red flags. I'm agreeing with all the Twitter trolls online with the consistent, negative battery from the critics, from the fans, and from the industry figures. And as of right now, I agree with what Adam Silverstein said of CBS Sports. You know, the reason why he wasn't really a huge fan of Retribution is they did exactly what these 4 men did on NXT Vengeance Day to Oba Femi, to Nathan Frazier, and Axiom, the NXT World Tag Team titles, the title holders. And just a bunch of pissed off teenagers causing trouble after school, man. I'm just kidding. No, but it was, I don't know. And their style of dressing, kind of black, all black, Shield, Retribution. So that, kind of didn't start off, I don't know. For me, it didn't really hit. Hasn't really started on the right foot, but, not trying to knock it just yet. Not, trying to stay openly optimistic about it. So, let's, hopefully, I always want to see young, talented wrestlers kind of be all they can be in an industry that obviously they've dedicated their time, attention, and their lives to. So, obviously I want to see these 4 guys make it. I want to see this work. I want to, maybe a month down the line, maybe I'm eating my own words. In that case, mark a month from now, the 21st of March, if they're kicking ass and taking names, I got to be honest, I will call out Cutler James. I will call out Dion Lennex, Osiris Griffin, and Saquan Shugars, and I would apologize to them individually on this show. That's a promise. All right, moving on. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the show. Hope you guys liked it. Remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow us on Twitter/X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for more content and updates. And remember, if I have not made you a wrestling fan by now, we have all other not wrestling shows, all over sports shows, who talk about anything from baseball, football, to hockey, to the NBA. The NBA is heating up in the playoffs. Make sure you guys tune into all their podcasts. And, be a part of this GSMC Sports Bloodline, where we will love you, we will cherish you, we would absolutely give you guys all the amazing sports content. And guess what? It's absolutely 1,010% free, so you have nothing to lose to smash that like and subscribe button. All your dreams will come true. Of course, if your dreams are to consume sports content. Thank you guys so much. Stay beautiful, but most importantly, as always, love you.